Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, the 18th of April, and I have entitled this video, All Experiences Determined by God. Do you believe that? Do you believe that everything that happens in your life is predetermined? A lot of people say Larry's a fatalist. No, I'm not a fatalist. I'm far, far from a fatalist, because the provident hand of God is a wonderful, majestic thing. What is the definition of providence? Providence is a manifestation of divine care or direction. The care and control of God. The guardianship and care provided by God Himself. This is the provident God that we serve. This is believing that God arranges all things that happen to us. His care and guidance are, part of His decree. He's the powerful force that causes events to happen in our life. Did Joseph trust in His control and His guidance and God's control and guidance over his life? Yes, he did. He told his brothers, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." And so every one of our experiences that we go through in life, whether they seem to be good or bad, God has predetermined that they should happen. And if we're one of God's elect, He's predetermined these things that happen in our lives for our good. All things work together for good for them that love the Lord and them that are called according to His purpose. Now again, like I've said many times, they may not seem good. I've had some things happen in my life that didn't seem good at all when they happened, and I still can't really see the good in it. But if we believe the Bible, we have to believe that God orchestrated these things for our good. And so the reason that I spend a lot of time on this is because if I didn't believe in the sovereign God, I'd probably be a stark raving maniac. I have a disabled son that we've cared for the last 30 years. And it's not been easy. It has not been easy. It's been very, very challenging. Not only for us, but for him. And you see him as he reads through some of my books and you see how some days he struggles more than we all struggle, but Mark's struggles are somewhat more magnified by his particular challenge. Why would God orchestrate those things happening in our lives? Persons with disabilities, persons with mental deficiencies, persons with physical disabilities. Why would God cause this to happen? Is it because God is uncaring and evil? No. We may never know why God does certain things. The why is a question that may never be answered, but I knew a lady one time. She had a son who had full-blown autism, and she said, "I have some questions to ask God when I die," because she had to deal with that autistic son her whole life. I can understand why she would say that. I knew her son, and it was very difficult for Mary to have to deal with this son her whole life, his whole life, while she was living. We all have to face things in our life that are beyond our contemplation and our understanding. And oftentimes we ask God, why? Why did you bring this into my life? How can I say this is protective care? Okay? Seems more like destructive care. Well, the fact remains that God is sovereign over all things. In the book of Amos, we see the prophets say, "Is there not evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it?" In Isaiah 45 we read, "I create light, I create darkness, I create light and I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things." I heard T.D. Jakes one time say, as it relates to 9/11, God didn't do that. God would never do that. Well, if God didn't do it, and if God didn't authorize 9/11, who did authorize it? You might say, well, the devil. Well, who is over the devil? I know a guy that says oftentimes Satan is God's devil. Well, God created Lucifer as a non-elect angel, and he fell, didn't he? He fell and brought a third of the angels to earth with him. And that's why we have so much chaos going on in this earth, because we have a lot of demonic activity going on in this earth. The Bible describes the devil as the prince and the power of the air that works in the children of disobedience. Well, all things are in God's hands. Ephesians 1 tells us that he works all things after the counsel of his own will. He predestinates all things after the counsel of his own will. Ephesians 1:11. And if you're one of his, we're told that you've been predestinated unto adoption, that we've been chosen in him from the foundation of the world. And so this morning, that's kind of what's on my mind when we look at our experiences in our life that we go through. We must say and affirm that every experience God has brought into fruition by his sovereign divine decree. May the good Lord be with you today in a special way is my prayer. God bless.